Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video we'll be talking about the active pattern that we have going on as we transition into spring. What's to come, more snow, more rain, severe weather, cold, warm, all of that. And if you guys like these type of videos, consider subscribing, consider liking the video, helps this channel grow, and I appreciate it a lot. And if not, at least I could provide some useful information for you. So hopefully, let's get into this. Okay, so I want to start off by looking at the interactive radar of the United States and southern Canada. And what we see is we have a large area of snow and rain across the central portion of the U.S., kind of now pushing into more of the Great Lakes. It did originate from the Central Plains and the Midwest. Notice we actually have a beautiful vortice right there that kind of was very well defined, and you can see that there was the precipitation circling to the south out behind it, to the north out ahead of it, and this actually dropped way more snow across portions of Nebraska, the Omaha area essentially, than expected. They got up to 10 inches in some locations. It was truly a absolute overproducer. And notice that as this pushes into Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, right, this was as of 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. This was as of 5, 6. This little band right here in my area dropped around an inch to an inch and a half within an hour. And notice that right now, this is kind of the more moderate snow starting to fill in. I know that Wisconsin has been getting snow on and off throughout the day. A lot of that, though, did struggle reaching the ground, as there was some dry air in the mid levels of the atmosphere. And then notice though, as we push this forward, we start seeing an increased amount of rain kind of interaction with this the southerly flow. And aside from that, you can see it was pretty much cut off from that, and now it's starting to work in, and really that moist air and those heavy snowfall rates will continue as this pushes off to the east into portions of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. So I wanted to show you those total snowfall amounts that we got, the snowfall reports. Again, they're just coming in from the Illinois, Wisconsin area. You can see that O'Hare reported around 7/10, Northbrook around 1 inch, and again, fell within mostly an hour or an hour and a half. But look at this. Now, that was something that no one really expected. So the highest amount came in from Ottawa, Iowa at 9.5 inches. You can see we're just in between Sioux City and Omaha. And again, some very heavy amounts. Omaha has already seen a lot of snow this year. Look at that, just north and east of Omaha, 8.5 inches or 8.2. So it really maxed out over here and stalled out and produced very, very heavy snowfall rates. Across the Des Moines area, you could see 2-3 inches. Just to the north, there were some heavy amounts. Across northern central Iowa, there were some decent amounts right there. Clear Lake, 8 inches. Southeastern Minnesota, 5-6 inches as well, not bad. Further up to the north, nothing too extraordinary. We do have one 5-inch report from Monroe Center, Wisconsin, as of 5:30. The lake effect was pretty heavy. You can see, I think I already showed you that before. And again, expect these amounts to slide to the, or maybe not this heavy, but again, those 2 to 4 inch, maybe some isolated 6-inch amounts across the mountains into the northeast. And we did just get another report, Morton Grove, that's pretty much right where I live, just pretty close, and again, 1 inch, so you can see that was consistent. I'm not deceiving you by any means. So notice it is still falling right now. I do want to kind of run this through quickly and show you what could happen with this system, right? So let's go to the herd model. And let's just go to the 23Z. This one is a 1 hour old model run, so very, very new, up to date. And let's take on regions, north central US. So I do want to mention that this is a heavy wet snow. For those that have already gotten the snow, obviously know that it's already pretty heavy and wet, or if you're looking at it from the window, it is heavy and wet snow. So in case you're going to go out and shovel, if you live across Ohio, Michigan, and anywhere else the snow falls, don't be deceived. This is a heavy wet snow. It's not the fluffy stuff we've been seeing for the past 2 to 3 weeks with that very, very cold air. Right, so notice as we push this forward, this is as of 6 p.m., which is an hour behind us of what is right now, which is 7. This is around 7. Let's run this through. Come on. This is 7, 8, 9, 10. You can still see snowing across Wisconsin, northern Illinois, but mostly pushing out into Michigan and Indiana. What we do start seeing is a very, very well-developed area of showers and some thunderstorms. Really, though, just kind of light rain to moderate rain with some embedded T-showers. You can see that it's pretty saturated, and that kind of provides quite a bit of moisture into areas like Detroit. You can see they start seeing the snow from around 11 So around midnight, as this is Central Standard Time, so around midnight, just a few hours, ending around 4 to 5, but could drop close to 3 to 4 inches in just that short amount of time if it's falling intensely enough. Notice this pushes into southern Canada, right? Ohio, Cleveland, it looks as if you will be mixing in with some of that rain, and it won't be all snow. Notice that it pulls away from Wisconsin, Illinois by really midnight into 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then as he pushes forward, we see it push into Pennsylvania, but really it stays as mostly snow. Say for Pittsburgh, a bit of mixing for sure, but it shouldn't it should be mainly a snow event. Notice into southern Canada, Toronto, for example, picking up some decent amounts, and I'll show you the East Coast in just a bit, but let me just run through 18 hours of this, and notice that it's getting very, very heavy, this rain at this point. We start seeing some interaction from the daytime heating, 8, 9, 10, which usually isn't enough. It's usually still later on in the day, but it's late February, March, that type of stuff does start occurring. You can see 11, 12, it does start getting stronger as the system progresses. Let's take a look at the total snowfall. Notice nothing too heavy, assuming in 10-to-1 ratios. These may be a bit underdone across the northern locations, but further south, especially when you're close to that rain snow line, they should be close to the 10-to-1, if not in some spots well below the 10-to-1. There have been some reports of a 7-to-1 ratio across southern northern Illinois, so south of I-80. Now the northeast, in terms of snowfall through tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning, you can see central Pennsylvania definitely picking up on several reports over 5 inches, and I do want to say that this will start to mix in with some rain as it pushes towards the coast. So notice through Pennsylvania, this thing just gains steam and really just plows through here. A lot of snow in a short amount of time. We could see some rain mixing in with some snow across the mountains. You can see very, very powerful rain band, so that could also be a bit of severe weather for potentially Virginia, North Carolina, and I know that I say severe weather and there's like a system of snow to the north, but these often at this time of the year start kind of coupling pretty strongly together. We see severe weather on the south, to the north we see snow. This shouldn't be extreme, but some heavy rain, some downpours, and probably some isolated wind gusts are possible. And notice into northern New Jersey, right, it stays as snow. Into Philadelphia, snow, rain. Struggling New York City, also the snow rain mix. And if we were to choose the model run of the herd that pushes out a bit further into time, notice it stays mostly rain for Long Island, Philadelphia, but locations just in the north and west, in Allentown, for example, Reading, Scranton, you should probably see some snow out of this. And notice even Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island end up seeing rain, and look at that, quite a bit of rain could be actually falling with this system, so definitely a bit of a shock, if you will, from all the snow and cold we've been seeing. Total accumulated precipitation, you can see some amounts getting over an inch, potentially, especially with some of these thunderstorms. And in terms of total snowfall, you can see not bad amounts, especially across Pennsylvania and into northern New Jersey. Okay, going back now, I do want to show you, for example, this is Dubuque, Iowa webcam. So this is in Iowa. I will show you where this is on the map if you don't know, but look at the snow coming down. This is a live shot. It is coming down, and this is heavy wet snow, definitely accumulating pretty quickly. As you can see, the visibility is very low. There's a bridge that runs right there. You can see that little car right there. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. And if you're wondering where this is on the map, this is, if I were to go on the radar, right here. It's where Illinois kind of meets Iowa and Wisconsin, Dubuque, and it's snowing pretty heavily. You're probably going to get out of that in the next few hours, but it's definitely coming down. If we were to take a glance at the next future radars if you were to take a look at the long range of the GFS version 16, notice, right, this is our first system, and I just want to go forward into time now to show you what's possible. Notice a lot of rain potentially across the East Coast. This pushes forward. Look at that. A bit of rain and snow potentially. Mainly snow developing tomorrow across Wisconsin and Michigan. This is something to watch for. This is really actually late tomorrow into early Tuesday. There could be, south of this low pressure, on the lower side of this, some convective snow showers, so definitely something to watch for. And you can see that kind of affects portions of the northeast with some snow showers, including New York City. Then, look at that. We see another little small piece, right? Wednesday, this little clipper could drop actually several inches of snow into Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP, northern Michigan, maybe Minneapolis. All snow, really, until it starts picking up a bit of precipitation on the southern flank, and that brings in some rather warm and wet conditions for the northeast. But look at that, just out ahead of the system, it could draw 40s and 50s as far north as, say, Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, Des Moines. So definitely a pleasant day for those folks. But that will be short-lived as this little system speeds across and moves out. And that will be the story for most of this upcoming 5-day week. Like every other week, or every week is a 5-day week. I don't know why I had to specify. This whole week will be just filled with these little small storms that don't really end up producing much in terms of snowfall or rain, but they definitely could provide some sort of a travel concern or just some sort of hazard. As you can see, if this were to come across northern Michigan, the UP, that could definitely leave behind 4 to 5 inches, and as it pushes through the northeast, that could leave behind some showers and maybe even some scattered thunderstorms across the south. Notice, right, well above freezing for the south, so for the folks that have been just absolutely frozen, you're probably going to be seeing rain, and you can see by Friday, the models start trying to develop a larger system, and you can see they bring snow as far as potentially Missouri, and they develop a nice area of snow according to the version 16 GFS, which is a rather reputable model from the past systems and storms we've been seeing. Notice, look at that. A decent snow event across the northeast. Lots of moisture and rain to the south. I also want to mention that a lot of these models, or at least a good handful of them, I've noticed a trend with them. And look, so we have cold air to the north, warm air to the south. But look at these systems. Aside from this one, they stay disconnected, right? We see a lot of precipitation to the south. Typically, you might see this develop into a large system, bring snow wherever it may track. But look, that just stays disconnected, brings a bit of rain, a bit of snow to the north. The low pressure is just a bit too late. They don't end up phasing. Nothing really significant happens. Look at that. We have a really strong Alberta Clipper, some sort of a northern system. We start seeing moisture from the south. Too disconnected, doesn't develop into anything. And then even these two systems right there. A lot of rain, but no big snowstorms. So that's the version 16 model. It has been definitely showing signs of that. If you were to take a look at its previous model run, there has been kind of similar trends, but I think it did connect one of those storms a bit better. So here's that first one into around a week from now, and then you can see there's a disconnected storm, a bit more connected than the newest model run shows. And look at this one, still connected, but not as much as you'd like. A lot of rain for sure, and definitely the threat for systems are there, and all you need is just a bit of cold air. And the version 16 GFS just through. Let's take a look at its snowfall. Let's do Kuchera, as that will probably just be more accurate. Let's do total snowfall. I don't want to say that, with this system right now, not too significant. But look at this one, that little one that occurs on Tuesday and Wednesday. Something to watch for the UP and southern Canada. Not bad amounts. 9, 8 inches, especially across the eastern UP and northern Michigan. So keep an eye on that. And then aside from that, you can see this model doesn't favor snow. That's not all of them. If you're to take a look at the GFS model, right, so the operational GFS, you can see it shows that little system across the north and plus today's system. It also does show more signs of significant storms. You can see these little kind of horizontal axis of very heavy snow stretching from the mountains all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. So definitely a pattern that we could be seeing more as we get into the future. And also favoring a lot of precipitation in terms of just rain across the south. So not really good news, as they don't really, they're not really dry, to say the least. They've been seeing quite a bit of rain on the south, and all the snow they've been getting. Some of the ground is frozen across these areas, but look what this model shows: very heavy rain across some of those exact same locations. So definitely not the most exciting, but hopefully we could get some of this rain into the west, and you can see that some models like this one does show a bit of rain into the parched southwest. Okay, Canadian model. This is a relatively good model. I think it has upgraded itself, has upped its game in the last few years. And notice that, right, that's today's system. There's a little bit of shower activity from that low pressure. And there's our little band across the UP, northern Minnesota. A bit of rain to the south of that. And notice that can pretty much skirmishes off into the northeast. And then look at that. We see that connection. And the Canadian actually connects these two systems. If you recall, the GFS parallel and a GFS show more of just like a single storm riding to the north. This is the one system from around a week from now, where it's looking to be more significant rather than the other ones that are disconnected even more. You can see it connects, it brings widespread light to moderate snow, and then look, the Canadian develops another beast and really connects these two systems. The GFS models disconnected these two. Southern piece went off, northern piece went off as well. Look at that, very heavy snow potentially for the Midwest, large amounts of rain for the Ohio Valley, Chicago, and points northward. and or lots of rain points southward to the north, snow. So that's what it shows. Quite a bit of snow obviously would fall with that thing, with that those two beasts. So here's our little band, here's our first storm, there's our second one. You can see pretty good amounts. And just to wrap things up quickly, I want to show you the European total accumulated snowfall. Notice that what we do see is that today's system, right, that little, it doesn't really advertise that that UP clipper, that's what I'm going to call it. It doesn't show too much snow with that one. I think that's underdone. And I noticed in the longer range, it does show signs of snow, and even pretty far to the south across Des Moines, Minneapolis. So I shouldn't say that's far to the south, but more south than the other models that were showing it further to the north. I want to say why the snow or the rainfall is kind of a concern. I mean, look at some of these amounts of snow we have right across these locations. There's a lot of the U.S. covered under snow right now. That will obviously quickly get eaten away, and you can see as we push into the very long range, we start seeing these amounts of snow very quickly dwindle, and plus a lot of rain, combined across areas in Arkansas where they still have a foot left snow with a lot of rain that could cause some flooding. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya.